only on the History Channel.
Digicel TV, home of rugby league. Dial star 515 hash to subscribe.
Hello and welcome. This is Midday News. Thanks for joining us. The official dates for the 2025 academic year was released yesterday by the Education Secretary, Dr. Uke Kombra. These dates include the beginning and ending of the 4 terms, holidays, national examination, and public holidays. Term 1 will begin for teachers, principals, and heads of all institutions on Monday, January 28, 2025, and students will resume classes on Monday, January 27, 2025. A notable change in this year's academic calendar includes a 2-week holiday in Term 3 for schools to participate in the country's 50th independence anniversary celebrations. According to Dr. Kombra, this change was requested by the government to ensure that the country's 50th Golden Jubilee Independence celebrations in September happen during school holidays so that there is no disturbance to the education of our children, and also so that our students and teachers have the opportunity to be part of the celebrations. Dr. Kombra said all provincial education advisors, principals, and heads of schools and institutions are advised to take heed of the important dates and to use them in planning for the school year while waiting for the education calendar to be printed and distributed nationwide. The Secretary wished all PEAs, principals, and heads of schools and institutions, teachers, and students a successful school year. The government has reaffirmed its unwavering commitment to Papua New Guinea's educators by announcing substantial improvement to teachers' remuneration as the nation approaches its 50th independence anniversary in 2025. Prime Minister James Marape made this announcement yesterday at the University of Goroka's 28th graduation ceremony in Goroka, Eastern Highlands Province.
Speaking at the 28th graduation ceremony of the University of Goroka on Tuesday, Prime Minister James Marape said his vision for a stronger future driven by the empowerment of educators. Marape's address was a powerful reminder of the critical role educators play in nation building. As Papua New Guinea prepares to celebrate 50 years of independence, his message resonated with the graduating class and attendees alike, a call to action for the nation to uplift its teachers and, in doing so, secure a brighter future for all. The Prime Minister reflected on his tenure as Education Minister in 2008 and 2009, during which he pushed for teachers' pay to reflect their qualifications, a policy now being implemented by the Teaching Service Commission and the Department of Education. In a moment of inspiration, he emphasized the profound influence educators have on shaping the nation's future. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
The government plans to pay full tuition fees for all students training to become teachers in the country in 2026 going forward. Prime Minister made this announcement on Tuesday when addressing the University of Goroka graduates in Goroka.
Any grade 12 school leaver who chooses to become a teacher can rest assured that their tuition will be fully covered by the government in 2026 and beyond. Prime Minister James Marape made this announcement at the University of Goroka 28th graduation ceremony on Tuesday in Goroka. He says while the provincial governments, districts or other sponsors can assist with boarding and lodging, the full tuition cost will be borne by the government. This applies to those pursuing early childhood education, primary and secondary teaching, and even college and university lecturing. The Prime Minister went on to outline key expectations for the teaching profession under the new reforms. He further reiterated that the government is committed to improving the welfare of teachers by increasing their pay and covering their school fees for those who choose to pursue teaching as a profession. However, he says with this commitment comes a responsibility. The Prime Minister clarified that the Teaching Service Commission will ensure that all teachers employed meet the highest ethical and professional standards. Those with questionable character, such as gamblers, habitual troublemakers, or those engaged in unethical practices influencing our children will not be considered. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
The Materia Health Centre has officially opened its new labour ward, marking a major milestone in maternal and neonatal healthcare in the region. The state-of-the-art facility, developed in partnership with the NCD Provincial Health Authority, the Motu Koitabu Assembly and the Australian government, is operational and has welcomed its first delivery. Hanuabada village mother Antonia Sioa gave birth to a healthy baby boy, becoming the first to benefit from the centre's enhanced services. The labour ward is equipped with modern medical technology and staffed by skilled professionals. It is designed to provide a safe and supportive environment for mothers and newborns. The facility will operate 24/7 to ensure around-the-clock care for expectant mothers. To overseas, Townsville has welcomed its largest cruise ship in history, heralding the start of a record cruise season for Northern Australia's largest city. It's been touted as a win for local tourism, but has sparked fresh calls to revitalize the struggling CBD.
The water's edge as the Queen Elizabeth sailed in. The 294-metre ship is the biggest to dock at the port of Townsville, bringing almost 2,000 tourists to the tropics.
It's a beautiful vibe next to the ocean, so that's always my favourite.
We actually came a year ago on the exact same date, but there was a typhoon.
We've never been here before, never been up in this area, so it's a great chance just to sort of see what's here.
The luxury liner's arrival made possible by a $250 million project to expand the port.
Sailing in today, we're so grateful for the work that's gone in to widen this channel to allow ships of this size to come in. It's a real honour.
Allowing Townsville to tap into a booming and lucrative cruise market.
Passengers, as they disembark, they head out on tours, they head out into our city and onto our strand. They spend money at dining and retail, spending just over $200 per passenger per day.
The Queen Elizabeth is one of 6 cruise ships that'll dock in Townsville this fortnight. All up, a record 28 vessels will visit this year, bringing more than 30,000 passengers to the city.
My ambition would be we'd be at 100,000 in 3 to 4 years' time, and then we should go on from there.
Local businesses are concerned about the state of the CBD and its impression on tourists.
They were a little surprised at the number of shop vacancies and the state of some of the buildings and the precinct here.
Other travellers had different priorities.
Being a Cowboys supporter, I had to visit the Cowboys Leagues Club.
Unions say the government's newly unveiled pay offer to rail workers is likely to be rejected when it goes to a vote. The government still offering less than half what unions are demanding, and industrial action is set to continue tomorrow.
Months of industrial action and uncertainty for commuters, the government has an offer it hopes could end it all.
An offer is being made to the Sydney Trains workforce, an offer that is a fair and reasonable one.
The government's offering 15% over 4 years. That includes a 1% superannuation increase and 1% found through cost savings, mostly by merging regional provider New South Wales Trains with Sydney Trains and making staff redundant.
I think the approximation from the government is about 103 jobs.
The jobs which are going to be sacrificed in relation to that will be regional jobs.
But the 15% is less than half the 32% that unions have been demanding, and the RTBU doesn't think its members will back the offer.
I would imagine very unlikely at this stage, but as I said, we haven't seen the detail yet.
While the government and unions have made some progress, it hasn't been enough to avert another 3 days of industrial action starting tomorrow. Train crews will drive 23 kilometres an hour slower than the speed limit, but only when that limit is 80 or higher.
We don't anticipate large impacts. Trains will be running slower, we have no doubt about that, but people will still be able to get from point A to point B.
We will no longer accept partial work from our staff. For staff that are coming to work, we expect them to undertake their normal duties, or they won't be coming to work and they won't be paid.
The government wants the offer put to a vote within the next few weeks.
And that ends the news update. To join us at 6 for more.